You saw this thing and they didn't. And they were like fixated on the idea that he doesn't have this technical knowledge.
Yeah.
And you were like, listen, that we can teach, but this part here, this is the thing that matters.
I was running a fairly large business at Lucent Technologies back in the heyday when Lucent was the darling of Wall Street. We had a business that was not doing well, and I was looking for someone that could really bring a transformational customer experience to what we were doing. And we tried a couple of leaders in that role, and it didn't work out. And one day I'm at a restaurant with my wife. This is in Denver, Colorado, and it had been awkward because we were standing in the cold waiting to be led into the restaurant. The restaurant manager appeared, apologized profusely for the line that was building up outside, saw us in and said, within 4 minutes, I'm going to make sure every one of you is seated and you're going to have a drink. I thought, wow, we were literally about to leave.
Yeah, right.
Walk away.
He saved the day.
And he saved the day. We walked in and sat down and I'm not paying attention to my wife, and I always pay attention to my wife. I'm watching this guy work the floor, work the tables. And I turned to Shari and said, this guy's customer experience is just phenomenal. I mean, he's got everyone who were all getting a bit rough around the edges because they were waiting. We were waiting for a good 20 minutes. He's got them all settled and smiling. He's walking, he's greeted. And then he came to our table. And out of nowhere, I said, hey, have you ever thought about changing career? And he said, well, as a matter of fact, I have, because my wife and I are about to have a child and the restaurant business is actually not good socially, social hours.
Yeah.
So I said, look, I gave him my card and I said, come and see me. He looked at the card and he said, dude, I don't know anything about technology. I said, listen, I can train anyone on technology, but I cannot give them a customer experience, customer service ethic. And just come and talk to me. So he came into the office a few days later. The hardest part of hiring him, which I eventually did do, the hardest part of hiring him is the team were not on board with it.
Yeah.
They said, this is a guy, he's not even in our industry. What's he going to do? We've tried 2 people already. This will be another failure. And it was all the naysayers. And I said, look, let's just see, because I do believe this guy's got what it takes. We can train him on the technology.
Yeah.
He came and joined the team. We ended up working together for several years. He was incredibly successful in that role. He convinced everyone in the team within weeks that he was the right guy for the job.
Yeah.
Turned the business around for us. And then we kind of lost track of each other. I went off other careers, other corporations, other parts of the world. And recently when I joined Cisco, so I joined Cisco 3 years ago, out of the blue, I get a text from him saying, hey, I just got a new boss, someone you may know. And I said, oh, really? Who's that? And he says, it's me. I just heard you're going to be my new leader in Cisco.
That's awesome. That second part of that lesson, which is that when you do a good deed, oftentimes it does come back to haunt you in a very good way later on.
Yeah.
But what I love about that story is that 99 out of 100 people, now probably 999 out of 1,000 people would have sat there at that dinner just thinking to themselves, oh, this is a good experience.
Yeah.
Not thinking, I can connect these 2 dots.
Yes.
Right. That I have at Cisco in technology, or no, at Lucent.
Lucent, yeah.
In technology with this guy in the restaurant business. And you did that. By the way, your team at Lucent, probably super sharp people and great because they were on your team and you were leading them to become giants, and many of them probably did become giants. But for a while there, the distinguishing factor between you and them was that you saw this thing and they didn't. And they were like fixated on the idea that he doesn't have this technical knowledge.
Yeah.
And you were like, listen, that we can teach, but this part here, this is the thing that matters. I talk to a lot of people in leadership that are experienced and do well. And then I talk to people who've never really led much. And the people who haven't led much can be deceived by a lot of concepts like everyone's a leader. Like we don't really need a leader. All of the people running around can be the leader.
Yeah.
If you have a 2-headed beast, it's going to rip itself apart, let alone a 900-headed beast.
Right.
Because there's not going to be an answer there. So you had this unique ability in that setting to help your team see something that they didn't see in order to now have it work. And I bet what happened was a lot of them became converts and started looking for their candidates in different places based on different credentials.
Yes, they did. I think what happened is we all, as a whole, as a team, started to think out of the box, not just in hiring, but in everything we were looking at.
Yeah.
We started to look at different industries and how do we bring some of the best practice from different industries to this world of technology.
Yeah.
And I think it just made us richer.